It's preparing for another ordinary extraordinary. Hello, everybody. This is your life coach, Sasha from Chicago, with another ordinary, extraordinary guest. Yes, you can see how extraordinary she is. This is Tetyana Lenchuk, right? Is that
Yes,
your
you
last
got it
name?
right, Sasha,
Yes.
Alex. Thanks.
Yep. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna ask my regular questions, and she's going to answer those questions. Hey, Tanya, how are you?
I'm super excited. I'm
All right.
pumped. Thanks so
All right.
much for having me.
No problem. So I'm gonna
Go
go
for
right
it.
right into the first question.
Hello, everyone.
Yes. Who are you and what you do is my first
Okay,
question.
perfect. So you already got my name. I'm Tetyana Lenchuk. And who I am, it would be in the realm of being, and what I do is what I, for living, what I do for living. So let's start from the do to get that out of the way. So I'm a hustler. I'm an entrepreneurial woman, and I am interpreter of languages. I happen to be Ukrainian descent, so I speak fluently Ukrainian, Russian languages plus English now. And what gives me great joy with this type of work, for my clients, I get their voice to be heard. And typically, I take people to courts for traffic courts, for immigration cases, for bankruptcies, batteries, which is criminal court, you name it, divorces. Yes, part of the life. And it gives me great joy to represent others so they can speak up for themselves. Second of all, what I do, I'm an Uber driver. Yes to all Uber drivers.
Yeah.
Take pride for it. Now, Lyft drivers, whichever drivers, truck drivers, take for Lyft. And what gives me the great joy, being privileged to drive others so they trust their well-being and life to me, is every single time I get to connect and hear amazing stories. I collect those here and in my heart about what makes others happy, what are their concerns, etc. And I love learning. I'm a sponge, and it's experiential to me. So Uber driving, yes. Third of all, what I enjoy and totally gives me kick, and I'm a spiritual counselor, healer, reader, whichever. I do not like labels because labels tend to limit, put you in the box, and none of that ever describes. Basically, I love metaphysical field. I got introduced into it somehow, at least about 10 years ago in 2010. I'm sure it started earlier, but that's when I really purely recall it. And so I do use tarot cards, oracle cards, other means to play with to get the messages that are intuitive in nature for myself every day and others whoever's interested. So those are threefold things that currently for the last several years I've been fully immersed in. Thank you.
All right. Immersed in. Thank you. Thank you very much. Wow. That's awesome. This is great. Now, second question.
Oh, there's more?
Yeah, there's more. So, what obstacles have you had in your life and how you have overcome those obstacles? Is my second question.
This is beautiful. I have overcome and still sometimes facing the obstacles of, here's the list, of low self-confidence, stemming from the negativity in comments in my family of that I'm not good enough, that I'm too fat. I broke my ankle twice. And I gained weight. Then I lost it, but in the process of having been bigger, I heard that I'm a fat cow. And so things of self-image and looking good, it haunts me every time. And then I love communicating, talking, and quite often, even though some people love it, others would say, you talk way too much. Could you shut up? Just shut up. And that would get to me that I need to monitor what I say, that it's not okay to talk, interestingly enough. And what else? So yeah, physical injuries would be bones being broken. I will share this right now. It's kind of deeper, private, but I had 2 abortions, and I'm 35 years old woman, so I never married, nothing, and I wasn't a child. I was adult. I just looking for true intimacy, love in the wrong time and places, and exchanging sex for friendship, basically. My goodness, I wish I was a prostitute, then at least I would get paid. So also, some say I'm beautiful. I don't know. I really, as I said, I judge that daily, find all the imperfections, circles around my eyes. I internally, I don't, I at times I don't feel beautiful, God knows. And I'm getting wrong attention from my looks from males, and then getting in trouble. So that I had to overcome and find my own self-worth and trust. It impacted my love life, relationships, because now I'd have this cautious, do you actually like me for me, or you just want to get laid? I'm being honest right now, just using no filter language, or you just want to use my body, my whatever you find attractive for your own things, and just throw me aside as a disposable object. So that been the biggest thing for me, very hurtful. One of the things I watched, also the biggest impact on me that I had to overcome, is still always been going to be part of my life. Watch my parents struggle in their marriage, all the fights, struggles, just dramas, and always wanted to have a true, in my heart, wanted to bring harmony, peace, and love.
Mhm.
And see how much they do care, because they wouldn't choose to stick together, and yet how much caca is in how, and it I think it's number one what pulled me into exploring human nature and finding the solutions to what would it take to have a harmonious, peaceful, loving relationship, first of all with self, and then with another that you care so greatly. And so any other obstacles, finances, oh god, it's really 360, isn't it? A part of being human being, everything matters. Finances, I've experienced a loss with money, and even currently I'm actually paying off my debts. Student loan is still here. Credit card debts that I'm finally slashing off. It is, whoever, and many can relate to me right now, it is not fun waking up saying, oh, let me excitedly go make some money so I can pay off my debts. Something still from the past to take care of, when you so much want to invest the money into everything else that you would like to do for fun, for vacations, for I love learning, so any self-improvement, self-education, that's much more exciting than let me pay the debts of, which is the past, take care of the past. Not fun at all. And I take pride that part of being adult, taking responsibility and learning financial literacy, something I really understood by my mid 30s, that not in my family, we're not educated in financial literacy. We know how to make and spend and pay the bills, maybe overspend on some occasions, or save, but not to invest and truly to create security. And this is my goal right now. This year, 2020, is truly getting on the next level with finances, facing them instead of avoiding, feeling guilt trip about what's money and what to do with it, and hiding from it like it's going to attack me and eat me life. So that's the obstacles I've been facing, and some of those that I overcame. To sum up, if I lost you by now, is an idea of self-worth and self-image. Also trust to opposite gender, that it's okay to open up and not feel that I'm to be used, abused, or something of that nature. Speaking up my voice without feeling that I will be misunderstood or I will be overwhelming and too much, and I better shut up, keep it quiet, or something. Some of those, breaking physical bones, no fun, experiencing physical pain. Not, also self-judgment over how come I'm mid-30s and I don't have my own family. I still have a family, my relatives and stuff, but and I'm very fortunate about it. Thank you, God. But I'm like, how come I'm not one of those, fulfilling on being a wife and a mother. So
Got it. Got it. All right. Perfect answer. Perfect answer. My cleaning robot is approaching us, coming to the room, so you might hear some noise in the back. It's decided to come with my third question. So, third question: what makes your heart sing?
And then I'm gonna give you a serious face. Is it
I'm gonna go
serious
turn
enough?
off the robot. Yeah, go ahead.
Serious enough? So, everything, life. What makes my heart sing? Flowers, beauty, colors. I love colors. Colors. My God, on my desktop here, there's a bunch of different colors. And where's yellow exactly?
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Yep.
And travel, going places. No wonder I like communicating, tapping into what's going on and asking, making everything my business and driving around. I love flying. I love going on trips. I love life. On my desk rock, it's gonna say, what are you crying over? If anyone gonna come stay there, just go back to life and live it. No time to waste. I love Mother Nature. I love everything what's natural. So you'll never see me with tons of makeup. Never say never. Sometimes I might play with it, but really no. Or over exaggerated something. Unless you're in theater and being theatrical for the kicks of it, sure, I'll take another image. But not really. My daily thing is the closer to health and nature, the better. I love animals. I have this cute thing. I have pets, cats, but I love it all. My mom, I'm very so happy to say, so proud to say, since being a little kid, she entrained me to put a spider, a bug in my hand, say, look how beautiful it is. Don't squish it. This woman has entrained in me love for everything that is. So not only I'm not afraid of, sometimes I can be spooked by maybe a snake or something that looks different than I am. And in wild nature, as we all know, anything may bite us if it's scared of us. It's a survival instinct. But really, I'm not afraid of it. My dream is to go to Cape Town and swim with white great sharks. It's a privilege. They probably would be in cage, maybe or not, just for security purposes. But to me, it's like, wow. So nature, everything that's natural. About 15 years ago, I stopped perfumes, using anything alcohol-based sprays. To me, not that there's not good smells there, so, but like essential oils is more resonating to me because it comes directly, like I sniffing my roses, my lilies, and I distinct the smell and it makes me happy. I want it as close as possible to natural and simple. Yes, natural oils here. I have a whole bunch. I have like you have so many of these. What makes my heart my cheat sheet here? Music. I am one of those who binge almost every night unless I don't have time. I've got to take care of things every 2 days, every 3 days. I listen to Voice. You have Ukrainian version of that competition, the American. Music makes my soul sing. I don't want to say it because I have musical hearing and I really catch beats and sounds. I'm really precise on it. I'm fine-tuned on it. I have some voice, but it's not one of those gifted, like meant to be a singer type of voice. Not in this lifetime, unfortunately. And once I hear music, that's it. It's the language of the soul. It lifts me up and throws me high.
Yeah, that's right.
And so how about chocolate? I've discovered, this is for ladies, us women. I've discovered the chocolate apparently based on cocoa has iron in it every time you have, unless you're already menopause stage in your life. But up till that age, if you're on your periods, apparently eating chocolate is now explained. The iron in cocoa makes you to resupply your deficiency and makes you happy again. Back to that. So food, oh my God, I'm essential sexual being because I make love to my food. Ah, it's colorful. Once I babysitted this boy and he said, "You just need each color of everything." I'm like, "Oh my God, that's wonderful." So blueberries are blue, lemons are yellow, apples, peppers, red, orange, all the colors. And I rejoice in the aesthetics of seeing the food, how it looks, smelling it, tasting it, and eating it, and then going from textures from slippery, juicy to dry to crunchy. Oh, since age 4, since going to kindergarten and before even, as soon as I remember, and then coming home and asking mom, "What did you cook?" And then the kindergarten they cooked. I remember everything I ever eaten. I love it all. You ask me the cuisine I prefer, I'd be like, all. I'll find the best in everything. And I rejoice in sensual five senses thingies, visually colors, taste-wise, taste buds, food, my ears, music, honey to my soul, communication, talking, and then exchanging, listening to others, and physical, tactile touch. Totally, I'm a hugger. I will hug the shit out of you. Excuse me, the cock out of you for good. And I love that's no wonder I have cats because they're so soft and just cushy to touch, of course.
Yeah.
So yes, I love hugging trees because some trees have really rough bark, others have soft. I'm so tactile. I love to feel it, even close my eyes, so only one sense is active at that time, to feel what I'm feeling with my touch. And that's so everything, life, actually living life, vibrating. And the last but not the least, the most important, good for me, but I enjoy, I strive at seeing others to do the same thing. I thrive from others being happy to enjoying life, doing exactly the same thing, but whatever kicks, if it's food, wonderful. You're into cooking, tasting, going out for food. Is it music? Create your music, make your own noise, sing, dance, move, travel, enjoy. I like seeing others thriving in simple pleasures of life, what it has to offer. Yes, and physical recreation stuff, movement, playing any games. Like me personally, I love volleyball, swimming, cheering for others if they play things, maybe like some, I don't know, badminton, tennis, something. Swimming, did I mention? I love water. I'm crazy about water. I can stand in the shower extra long. I can soak in a thing. I can go to sauna. Um, you will not pull me out of water for a long time. I love water. Aren't you all like made of water? We've come from water and go into water.
Got it. A little bit of a short list you gave me, just a short list of things your heart is singing right about. Well, it's a beautiful answer, Tanchka. Thank you very much. Now, the last question is the question that, again, everything comes from your heart, so I'm sure it's going to be a good answer. The last question is,
touch my heart.
Yeah, to the people who might be going through a rough patch, in their life
right now,
or create suffering or feel like they're suffering or going through hardships, what would you tell them now? Like, what would you suggest to them or tell them?
First of all, this is not a practical thing that came from somebody else. Aris Tranquaso shared this one with me. He said, anytime you feel down, check and hold. And I even wrote that down in here for myself. Those are the basics of the level of survival. But check whether you're hungry, whether you're angry, just angry, something angered you, tired, sleepy, and maybe you're hungry. And there's 4 letters in that word. I don't even remember all 4 of them. But basically, check in with yourself.
It's a halt.
It's a halt.
Hungry, angry, lonely, tired.
Lonely. There you are. It's been a while. Maybe you've been working hard, taking care of things, but haven't have been touched by another, talked to another, just left out. Yesterday, last night, I cried. It just came from nowhere. I cried. where because I felt lonely. And it's funny, wasn't alone, but it's so you can be surrounded by people, you can have family members around you, your friends, and yet feel loneliness. And maybe another aspect of you inside, deep inside, that just came to sur- I start crying over my whole long life. Excuse me. One of my loves, my first love when I was mid-20s years ago, when I so much love that guy that I was in love with, and his image disappeared, and I wanted to cry over it just from nowhere. I think, no, I felt lonely, and I felt like there was so much love in that relationship when it lasted in the past, and whatever what it was, but lonely, yes. So I have this soft toy I like embracing. I looked at the toy and always smiling. That's what I love about it. And it's soft and cushy. So I get to hug it. I get to sing. I get to cry out my whatever, the loneliness aspect of self. And then I felt at peace again. So check that hold. That's the first recommendation. Then if you're going through any sorts of kind of challenges, whether it's finances, health, depression, separation, maybe you're an immigrant. Look at me having my accent, right? I'm Ukrainian American. And some of the loved ones are far away. You physically cannot see them, touch them, spend time, and the time is passing. And that time that's gone, never going to be made up for. Any soul stuff or body, heart, um, any health challenges, you name it. Um, for whatever reason, I also get if you've been disrespected for somebody, even though you know your own worst, but somebody around you is just such a down, downy and extremely negative person you still need to be with. And it's not something you can just walk away from immediately, and they and unfortunately suck you dry. So I'd say you tap to things that naturally make you feel at home with yourself and happy. Simple going for a walk right now, finally here in this hemisphere of the world in Chicago, in America. It's this the spring is coming, so it's getting warmer and friendly and sunny air. Before it was not the case. Many have gone through depression and feeling not at home at all, feeling like want to die or something. Too much of this grayness. And it's easier to said than done saying go talk to someone. Do not play this game that you're so alone and nobody gets you and you're so left on your own to survive this hardcore life. That's BS. That's a story. I bet there is somebody you can connect to. I just, whether it's nature, connect to it, whether get yourself a soft toy. I'll show you mine. I have to demonstrate.
Please do, please do. It's actually a lot of CEOs of big companies carry soft plush toys
I
with
am
them.
back. I didn't, you know.
Oh,
This is sloys, a soft toy with sloys, which in nature they say that the slowest one to get to places. It has this smiley face, but it's not like laughter, but just but always, And around Valentine's Day, happy for those who happy past Valentine's for I got this. That was a gift to the guy I was seeing at that time. But things didn't pan out. It seemed like that, and that thing is the connection is over with. But I've asked you once I was visiting, can I have it? Because I noticed this thing was just sitting there on the table all alone on the laptop. I'm like, can I have this slice? He's like, sure, you can have it. And since then I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't care if your body is a toy. If this thing helps you to feel not alone because you have somebody, something to touch and look at, and it always smiles back to you. If for a chance that you cannot have so many days, so many people you can see have cats, dogs, pets to have that with, which sometimes I think it's sad. It's wonderful to get unconditional love from a pet, but also what does it say to me? No judgment. It probably says that possibly lots of these people have hard time connecting to their own kind, to other people, so they don't know how to reach out to others to be heard and seen, understood and appreciated. and I wish that more of that stuff would just go away. But meanwhile, how about this? How about somebody who's always soft, smiley, cuddly, and always available 24/7? Get this, you may have a spouse, you may have children, you may have even your pets, but nobody's there available 24/7 because they gotta take care of themselves. They gotta go to school, to work, be away. But you may need to be hugged and touched and anytime at the snap of the finger. So this is a great solution, I'm telling you right now. To have something and somebody who's really 24/7 available. Even a pet sometimes doesn't feel like they want to be touched, whatever, because they have their own moody moments. So, because the soul is on the inside, but it always looks through the eyes on the outside world, and it always searches to be somehow validated and seen and heard from the outside world. No matter how many gurus gonna say, go inside, love yourself, this is wonderful. You're not wired to be that way. You're wired to be received by the external world. And when anytime you don't get it, you feel like you're not at home with the world. The world is cruel, unloving, and totally does not just perceives us as God has left us behind, which is not true. Of course, anytime the sun fails to be by the clouds, oh my God, I don't feel loved. It's like, how dare you not to shine upon me and give me the nourishing sun rays and to stop loving me? So this is a great solution. I believe so, at least. And that's my my thing.
Mm-hmm.
What am I sharing with others? This is a brand new answer that just literally came out like now. I never shared this with anyone else until now.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, you're such a treat. It's just you made my day, and more than one day probably. But I want to thank you for coming. I want people to watch that and get the energy that you radiate through the cameras and feel better. And the beautiful advice, beautiful story. So, dear people, we have another ordinary, extraordinary person with us. And thank you very much for coming,
You're
Tanishka.
so kind.
And thank you
and so
guys for watching.
Spontaneous.
Well, there you go.
Out. Yes.
Well, yeah, somebody didn't respond to me,
Oh, wonderful. I'm just a substitute.
You're a substitute.
I always was. Go substitutes. Yes. Substitute teachers, don't ever underestimate your value.
Oh, yeah. I love
or substitute babysitters.
That's right. That's right. So thank you, Tanishka. Everybody enjoy the rest of your day or night whenever you're watching it. And I hope to see you again, maybe next year.
In person.
And in person too. Yeah, we definitely have to hang out, and you have to teach me how to put the foods together.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Thank you again for having me. You're hopefully one of the best substitutes ever.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you, Tanya. All right. So I'm gonna push the end meeting so you don't have to worry about it, and then I'll call you. All right.
Thanks.
All right. Bye,
Take
everybody.
Take care, everyone.
Yep.